check it out. This is called Orchid. And I was doing some research on this particular fragrance, and this was inspired by an actual orchid. This was inspired by, let me get this right, the New York Botanical Garden. The orchids that are there, you know, the New York Botanical Gardens, they have tons of different flowers, tons of different florals, different plants, and this fragrance was inspired by an actual orchid within the collection of in the garden. So I think that that's quite beautiful that they try to mimic something that is actually real and it really exists. So I like this one a lot. I've used this several times now, and both of the times that I've worn this, I received plenty of compliments. I actually love that it's in a smaller size. This is in a 0.5 ounce bottle. It's typically $35 on its own, which is also a really great price, by the way. That's very affordable. But if you shop the live stream deal, which is even better, it's under $30, $29.75. Obsessed. I mean, if I'm gonna be all the way real with you, if this were my fragrance, I'd be charging a lot more for it because it smells expensive. It doesn't smell like a fragrance that you can get for under $30. Just saying, keeping it all the way real. Again, compliment getting sent. It has a lot of sillage. Let me go over here and see if I can pull up some of the notes for you. It's a 15 ml spray bottle. If you open it up, there is a sprayer just so you can see up close. It has excuse me, it has no parabens, no sulfates, no phthalates. It is cruelty free, which is great. We love those types of products that are cruelty free. It's made in the US. It's fragrance family, so the type of fragrance it is a floral fragrance. It's definitely a hyper floral fragrance. It's very, very photorealistic. Like, this smells like I am sniffing into an actual orchid fragrance. Very pretty, very I would say with actual sillage, it's probably about, well, I do get a lot of sillage. Sillage is like when you can smell the fragrance in the air. So I do get a lot of that. But as far as heaviness, I would say it's moderate. It's not too light and it's not too heavy. It is more on the moderate side. Whereas this Black Orchid fragrance from Tom Ford is more on the heavier side. Both are stunning and beautiful in their own right, but this one's a little bit more heavier. This one wears a little bit more moderately, which I like. I enjoy. I love it for daytime. Angel asks, how long does it last? For me, I got 6 hours plus, which is really, really great. Like, that's exceptional. Typically on my skin, a fragrance will last, like, the average 5 hours. Anything less than 5 hours to me kind of underperforms, and anything over 5 hours is like, okay, this is great. It's overperforming. It's giving me much more than I expected. 5 hours is kind of like my judging point, my tipping point. So this to me lasts well over 5 hours, like 6 hours on the skin, even around me, to be quite honest, but more than that on the clothes. So what I like to do with my fragrance, Angel, just if you're curious, if you're looking for like a pro tip, I'll spray my body. I'll spray my pulse points, the warm points of my body, so that my fragrance can last longer. And if I'm feeling like it's a fragrance that's going to last lightly and we're on the lighter side, below 5 hours, I will just spray my clothing. I'll just do like a once over on my shirt, right? And I'll just spray inside. I'll just do like a once down on the inside of the shirt, and that's it. That is it, because spraying this area is more than enough. As you move around and as you start to go on about your day, your chest area is going to warm up because you're so active here, right? So if you want your fragrance to last longer, that is where I would spray it. I mean, you could also spray, like if you're wearing your clothing like down your arm, you could spray here. You know, you can do that. But again, that's if your fragrance wears lightly. If your fragrance wears quite moderately or heavily, I would say don't do that. Don't spray your clothing because you're just going to be on beast mode. And that's okay if that's what you like. But for me, I think it's better to be more polite with your fragrance so that you and maybe the person immediately to the left of you and immediately to the right of you can enjoy it and not like a whole room or a whole stadium. You feel me? Okay. So there we go. I hope that answered your question. I hope that answered your question, Angel. That was a really great question. How long does it last? Let's move on to this next scent, which I think is quite interesting. This is from Define Me Fragrances, and I'm going to go ahead and put